Hi everybody. Today I want to continue my discussion about learned helplessness and talk about the importance of optimism after narcissism. And I just want to start by saying, before the narcissist ever met you, before they saw you, before they decided to destroy you, before they came into your life, they learned helplessness. And they learned helplessness in a way that they will never recover from. They were put into some sort of situation where they accepted that they cannot escape from by being themselves. So they bartered their selfhood and their autonomy in the name of some sort of survivalist paradigm of how the world functions. So they learned that being themselves, communing with the world in a way that they assert themselves or they assert their wants and they negotiate themselves with the world. They've accepted that that is lethal for them. And that is the core root of their problem, is that they are afraid of being themselves for fear of being killed off. That's why they kill off their empathy. That's why they kill off their preferences, their true preferences, their true desires. That's why they can't initiate actions. If you notice, narcissists often brag about talents that they don't have. For example, the primary narcissist in my life said that she did ballroom dancing. And she said this to a number of people, even though she never did any ballroom dancing. And so the point I'm trying to make is that they are so convinced that communing with the world in an honest manner, demonstrating themselves to the world, is a way to lose. They've already lost that game. They've already handed over their power. And that's very difficult to understand for people that are looking at the narcissist from a superficial perspective, because they look like they're in control. They look like they're in control because they're constantly looking to intimidate people, looking to make them feel less than. And that kind of makes them look assertive, but scaring people and taking ownership of what you want are two different things. You know what I mean? If the narcissist didn't learn helplessness, and let's say they had a dream, they would put on those ballroom dancing shoes. They would go to the class. They would be able to be in a room full of people. They would be able to listen to the instructor, take the criticism from the instructor, and fulfill their potential, fulfill their dream. But because they've learned helplessness, because they've learned that being themselves, striving towards some sort of vision of themselves that's positive, is a losing battle. And so they've turned into something that rejects themselves. And the only reason why they try to transmit this learned helplessness towards you is so that they can feel more comfortable with the fact that they have learned helplessness, if that makes any sense. So that's their personality structure. Now, why am I telling you this? I want to say that your true enemy, and the enemy that you can conquer at the end of the day, is you after this experience. You can talk about the narcissist. You can research the narcissist. You can understand their personality structure. And up until a certain point, it's very useful to do that. To take the blame off of yourself. To understand that you've been conned. To understand the nature of your problems now. How your brain has changed, etc. But if you don't unlearn helplessness, then you're going to stay in a state similar to that of the narcissist. It's not exactly narcissism because you don't have the depth of hatred towards yourself and towards society to be a genuine narcissist. But you're closer to the spectrum of narcissism than you would like to believe. Because at base, a narcissist is a person that has learned helplessness and is bitter because they can't pursue or even think of obtaining what they want, what they really want from the world. Not the diversion that they're creating, not the illusion that they're creating of happiness, not the constant having to accommodate their image, this false persona that they're creating. They are missing the ability to be assertive in the true sense of the word. They can intimidate people, but they can't be assertive about who they are. And when you escape these situations, you've been so devalued by the narcissist that you also have this element in your personality where you can't assert your needs. And I found that the biggest enemy is learned helplessness. It gets better with time, but it's still there. Like, you can't say no, you can't commit to what you want today or tomorrow or after tomorrow. And so think about that. Like, the narcissist has learned to reject themselves before you met them. And now it's your mission to not reject yourself, because you're going to go down the same slope that they're already down. I don't know, this is just some thoughts I had. Let me know what you think, and talk to you later. You can by the way, I just want to add, you can always do something about your situation. And there's a quote in Russian. It says basically that hope is the thing that dies last. You know, we have to learn to hope again. Learn to be more optimistic, because that's the opposite of the learned helplessness behavior that the narcissist has taught us. Anyway, kisses.